You know, I love movable chord shapes, but this one here in particular, if I had to choose one to play for the rest of my life, it would be this one here, because it just feels so good and it's so versatile. You can play it all along the fretboard, all across all sets of strings, and you get so many different sounds from it. Now this chord shape might look familiar to you because you've probably played it before as a D7 chord here. And I wrote this piece of music that you heard in the beginning, which I call the triangle, as this chord shape looks like a triangle pointing this way. And I'll teach you through the piece of music in a second. I just want to say you can play it on the right hand side with fingers finger picked, but you could also play it with the guitar pick as I did. If you download the tabs down below, you'll find my recommended picking directions as well as my recommended right hand fingerings. There are also the action steps to find. There's a difficulty level, time estimation, how long does it take to learn this piece of music, extra tips, and some words of encouragement. Now let me show you the chords that I used first, and as usual put your fingertips always close to the fret, whereas the metal things on the fretboard of the guitar, and have them kind of like arched around the strings that are below the fingers, because we want to hear that nice mix of fretted notes and open strings, so we have to make sure that they can ring out the open strings. Now this is the first chord here. It's an A major 7. And then I shift that to the 6th and 7th fret. This is an A6. And in the first part I go back and forth between the two. And then in the second part I go one string set up and then to the 4th and 5th fret. Which is a nice dominant 7th chord. And this one I shift down chromatically, so in half steps, which means fret after fret. Next one. And down until this one here. And from there I move up to the 6th and 7th fret again. And as this one here is an E7, I play the low E string along with it. And from there back to the first one. Now in bars 1 and 2, as I said, I go back and forth between that A major 7 here and that A6 chord. And what I do on that first chord is I play the A string with the down pick, and then down, up, down, just going down the strings and then coming back one string to the B string. And then after, I pluck the high E string as an open string, and then I do a hammer on the 2nd fret and a pull off just on that one pluck. I do the same on the B string and then the high E string again. So if you've never done a hammer on or a pull off before, the hammer on, the important thing is to do it quickly, to hit the string sharply, and then shortly after you do the pull off, so you pull on the string a little downwards and then you let it roll off your fingertip. And then I do the same on the 2nd chord, that A6 here. So let me put it together. Now the next part, this is what I like about these movable chord shapes. The open strings kind of like tie them together, they make them belong to each other. Without them, these movable chord shapes might seem a bit random, these position shifts, but the open strings make it sound good. So you start here on the 5th and 4th fret, A string, D string, and G string. And then you start on the A string and play a down pick, and then alternate picking throughout. Play it kind of like soft, and then I move down one fret. Play it a tiny bit louder, then the next one even louder. And the next one's the loudest. And I slow it down towards the end and I delay that next chord here, that E7. And as this is an E7, I want to play the open low E string along with it to make it sound really full. Now this last part here might seem a bit scary if you've never done a thing like that before, but it's actually not that hard. You can absolutely do it. What I do here, what I play here is an E major triad arpeggio. So the E major chord consists of 3 different notes. We have an E, we have a G sharp, and we have a B. But instead of playing them all at once as we play chords, I play them separately, I double each note, and then I do that repeatedly. So I play that E, low E string, then that G sharp and B, and this I repeat. I play E again, G sharp, and then B, and again an E, a G sharp, a B, and an E. And these last notes, they sound different, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second. And then I finish off with that first chord again, which is also the last. Now these last notes here, these are natural harmonics. And you can get them out of the guitar by placing your finger just above the 12th fret wire, which is the one right of the double dot, and only take one finger, this is important. Then touch the string lightly, don't apply any pressure, and pluck it really, or rather hard, not really hard. And there they are. Now if you're not in the right spot, if you take more than one finger, if you apply too much pressure, they won't come out. It'll sound like that. So you need to do it correctly in the right position, and then they come out, but you can do it. Now your part is to put all this together and enjoy this piece of music, which you can download as a tab down below. Have fun exploring this nice movable chord shape, and I'll see you in the next lesson.